gentlemen, Panzer here, and today I'm taking a look at Hotline Miami. Is it any good? Hello ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here, and today I'm taking a look at Hotline Miami. And first and foremost, the question I'm going to answer for you here today is it any good? Now if you don't know the answer to that, it's probably because you've just completely overlooked this game, or maybe something about it just slipped your mind about actually buying it. Personally, I hadn't actually purchased this game for quite some time, so I'm a little bit late to the party, but nevertheless, Hotline Miami is one of those games. If I was to sum it up in 2 words, it is a sociopath simulator. Alright, it has a unique art style, that's what you're seeing right here, and we're gonna get straight into the game. It has a bit of a story, so I'm just gonna be showing you what's available within the first 15 minutes of the game, so we don't really spoil too much of the actual story. But the main thing is, it has a unique style to it. It definitely is very reminiscent of retro games for a long time, particularly any games that were available on arcade machines for the longest time. But straight up, I gotta tell you that this is not an easy game to play. In fact, it is extremely unforgiving, as you're gonna see right here in this is the very first stage of the mission. Once all of the story is out of the way, you can kind of see the very first stage that you reach. It punishes you right off the bat. Because you gotta remember, this is a bit like, I suppose it has a bit of roguelike elements in the sense that you have very, very quick deaths. In fact, for the most part, you can basically only take a single hit before you go down. So you kind of have to plan the way you attack every single level. Now you have the means of looking around the map, and you can kind of watch where the guards kind of patrol around. And with that, you can kind of see, okay, they have certain patterns in the way that they move. However, it is not that simple. There is a bit of random factor in the sense that the enemies that patrol around the map may decide to randomly deviate from their path. Either because you walk near them, or it's just some sort of random chance. Either way, it keeps you on your toes, really. Now, if you watch this right here, you'll notice that even though the guard has a set pattern, he decides to come out and kill me anyway. I get killed by a guard with, I believe it's a shotgun from the back, and in the previous plays, he didn't actually do that. So, on this particular instance, he just decided he wanted to come out of the room, saw me, took the shot. And that's just, that it is actually realistic in a sense. Now, the actual game might give you the impression of some sort of retro-style kind of acid trippy kind of game, but it is actually really intelligent in the way that the AI behaves. They react accordingly. Sometimes they spaz out and do some sort of really strange things where they pace back and forth. But ultimately, the game forces you to be really on edge for the entire time that you're playing. And it is really awesome that it does that. Now there are a number of different mechanics at play here. Firstly, the way that you attack each enemy is all done using the mouse with the left and right mouse button, which takes a little bit of getting used to. Your right mouse button picks up weapons, but it also allows you to throw them, or you can drop them without throwing them by holding it down. It just gives you the feeling that it might have been designed for controllers. But it seems to work decently well with the mouse and keyboard. I've not really had too much of issues with it. I just had to get a little bit of getting used to at the beginning, but other than that, it's all right. It's not a really big deal. And as far as the combat goes, in fact, as you complete each level, I don't think I've played any other game that seems to really have that very satisfying feeling when you complete a level. Either because it's really difficult, and I'm not talking about Dark Souls level of difficulty, just the fact that you replay the levels and it's over really quickly. Either because you complete it really fast, or because you just die really fast. And it's really just that quick. Everything is very fast paced. So you're gonna see like the way you exchange weapons when you attack enemies, or even throw weapons or fire guns, and that it all happens really, really fast. Sometimes you get a little bit of pause and you kind of try to appreciate the situation and see what's going on, and kind of plan it a little bit tactically, like get the whole Rainbow Six tactical kind of planning going on, but ultimately you've got to be really fast, and it's kind of twitch reflex almost, the way that you move forward and the way that you execute what you planned. So you kind of execute your plan within seconds, and I think that's the most satisfying part about it, because when the plan really all comes together and it works exactly as the way you imagined it, or because, you managed to clear it and it was taking so long, it's just like, yeah, you feel really good about it. This is like an accomplishment, it's an achievement. And that's the really rewarding thing about playing the game, making it really satisfying. Now, each level, as you clear it, you'll get like a little bit of score and all that. It's very retro style in that sense. It even gives you a grading, which you can see I didn't do that well, like a B minus. I didn't manage to get all the A's, you know. Still learning, but I'll get better eventually. And you can see that it's giving you that sort of score in the way that, you know, points and all that used to be, and there were leaderboards and all that. In fact, the game has leaderboards built in with Steam, so there is that as well. But at the same time, it also rewards you with masks. Now, these masks do a variety of different things. Each one has its own traits aside from the standard mask that you get, which I can't remember what it is right now. But like for example, you see right here, I'm gonna unlock an owl mask, which is called Rasmus, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and that supposedly allows you to see secrets or secret areas or something. I'm not sure exactly what it does, but it has some sort of traits attached to it, and a lot of them have these traits. So the mask that you choose to go in with or go into a level with kind of dictates how you're gonna play it in a sense, or it's sort of like a perk of how that will affect how you play the level. So there's a little bit of a variety going through it, but ultimately, from what I can tell, it is linear in the sense that you play through the story and all the levels are just part of the story, and you go through them one by one. But to say that this game is a corridor, in a sense, yeah, but it does seem to have a lot of replayability, because definitely I would want to try executing each map in a different way. And I think that's where the replay value will come from. So, is it any good? Yeah. And I don't think I could really just be as plain simple as that. It looks... the art style might not appeal to everybody. Alright, I'll give it that. And if I was to really be very critical about the game, I don't like the fact that the controls and the options are a little bit difficult to rebind. It has rebindable controls, but it is a little bit tricky as to figure out how to rebind those controls. The graphics options are basically just the resolution. There's nothing much to change, although being that it's a top-down pixel kind of retro style game, there isn't really much to change anyway. However, weirdly enough, it is all controlled by this sort of external launcher program, and there doesn't seem to be any option to change it from in-game, which is a little bit strange to say the least. But another thing, yeah, no mouse-driven menus. So I think that's really, if I want to be really critical about it, I suppose those are the things that might be considered negative about it. But it more than makes up for it in the fact that the way the game plays and just how satisfying it is to complete each level. So is it any good? Yeah. I'd say that this is probably one of the better games to just kind of play a single player. If you're looking for a casual single player that you can run on just about any machine. In fact, I'd be surprised if this doesn't start showing up on tablets or iPads and mobile devices very soon. Maybe it already is, I don't know. But it looks like it could probably run on a mobile too. So this has been Panzer taking a look at Hotline Miami. And now available on Steam for $9.99 or your regional equivalent. It's a pretty good game. Go and check it out. And I'll see you guys next time.